So this is a very topical question these days, right? I spend some time thinking about this because, it's important. We are in the software business. So we have to know what's coming, right? So let me start with this narrative. It's in 2030 AD, headquarters of the human resistance. Undisclosed location. So the war has been lost and some brave soldiers are putting up a resistance now. At first, it came for the factory workers. Of course, we celebrated automation and productivity, right? In the name of productivity. Then it came for the warehouse workers. Then, good consumers we are, we celebrated the low prices. Then it came for the truck drivers. We thought they had it coming, right? But then some of us started to worry, right? Geez, where is this going? Finally, it came for us. Finally. So in 2025, the Zoho intelligent agent, Zia, eliminated all sales, marketing, and support jobs. The entire world. So let's go back in 2017, okay? I'm here now. Just for the record, we have no such plans, okay? But at least that's what Zia has instructed me to say. As you know, nothing is ever true until it's officially denied. So, I, for one, welcome our new AI overlords. It's coming. Okay, it's coming. So let's take a look at what all this AI is supposed to mean, artificial intelligence in software. It's, we are working on it. Lots of companies are working on it. This is now perhaps the biggest thing going on in software now. AI. How do you put AI so that you make your software more intelligent? Of course, in a lot of cases, replace the drivers, replace the warehouse workers, all of that. That's what's going on right now. So that actually brings up a meta question. What exactly is a job, right? Because, our concern about AI is what will it do to our jobs. So what exactly is a job? First, let's note that, people subject themselves to, the torment people go through voluntarily. That if some employer actually did it, all kinds of federal regulations will be on your case, OSHA and whatnot. But people do this voluntarily, a lot of people. I have a friend. I always used to joke with him. He did this twice, okay, not once. He did this twice, triathlon. With this guy who trained for 2 years. I mean, he was I don't even know, I don't even remember. Does anybody remember how many miles of running, marathon, and swimming, and bicycle, all of that, all in series? I mean, that's what he went through. And this is a couple of years of training, and then he goes and does it again. Like I told him, if you actually put 5% of that effort into your job, right? So, anyway, this was figured out 150 years ago, right? Tom Sawyer. This is my favorite book. This is actually a really good management book. This is a really, 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 if you plan to be CEO, that's an excellent advice. What Tom Sawyer did. Painting the fence. So, if you know that story, I'm sure most of you read it in elementary school, middle school, and this is the painting the fence episode where Tom Sawyer gets other kids to paint the fence for him. For a fee, of course. They pay him a fee to paint the fence, paint his fence. That's work, right? He figured out how to make that work happen. So how do we define work? I mean, again, so given that People will do all kinds of crazy things in the name of play. What really constitutes work? And take a step back. There's something very interesting going on in the economy right now. Even as we lose a lot of jobs to automation, the number of job categories, the number of job titles or roles across the economy is exploding. There are entire job categories that did not exist even 10 years ago that are true now. And it's something that I move across countries, and I'm always amused by how many kinds of new categories get invented first in Silicon Valley and then they spread. Job categories, not just jobs. Like we just make, every new employee is a new job category altogether now. That's what it seems like sometimes. I'll give you an example in Zoho now. We call this person the workplace architect. We created this new job just recently, just hired like a month ago. And our role is to make careful observation of exactly how we work, our actual collaboration, our individual workspaces, our meeting rooms, our conference rooms, all of these facilities, and refine this. What works well, what doesn't work, how is the flow of people, what is the bottleneck, and how do we enhance the collaborative experience. It's a full-time job now. Maybe we have 4,000 employees, we have 100 conference rooms and all of these. So we keep refining those things. Small changes improve productivity. An example, we are replacing all of those projectors, down projectors, with TVs now. Because I know, no matter what technology they invent, every single meeting is 15 minutes of lost productivity. How many of you recognize that? And so we are replacing all those projectors with TVs now, with Apple TV, so you can just directly connect from your laptop without cable, nothing. No. So that's one thing, one observation we made based on, attend every meeting and see where we are wasting the time. Those 15 minutes go, just fiddling around with the cables. It never seems to work. So that's an example of an observation that based on which we are fixing. So like that her entire job is she's an architect, but she's a workplace architect. Her job is to actually go across conference rooms, all of that, and see what works, what doesn't work, and fix it, redesign it, all of that. And so, basically craft the space to fit our needs. The example is this itself. This is actually our office here. We work upstairs. But we created this because based on the need that we conduct a lot of events, maybe about 12 to 15 events a year just in this facility. And it really helps to have this right here. Our employees can participate, then we give a better experience to our customers, all of that. So, and that's where this need arose. We decided we could do this, then maybe we could do this better, actually. So that's why we hired our own in-house architect. And this is happening even as construction trades automate. I don't know how many of you have seen this video on YouTube where a robot, what they call 3D printing machine, prints houses. It just lays concrete, the walls, all of that, with the correct holes for the windows, all of that. And so you can actually, there is a UCLA professor who has a research project to 3D print houses. And there's even a video for 3D printing an entire neighborhood. Can you imagine? So the construction jobs are going to automate. Definitely that's coming. But a lot of those jobs now will come into this workplace architect or configuring workspaces, all of those. Because there are jobs, there is more productivity to be gained. If you eliminate these meeting room lags and all of these, we can actually create a lot more productivity. So that's where I think, so you can create different job categories now, even as the construction trades automate. In fact, the fastest growing job category in Zoho is actually pre-sales and post-sales support. That itself is getting into subcategories. Post-sale support for onboarding, post-sale support for experienced customers, categorized by chat experts, email experts, phone experts. That's how we are doing it now, actually. Everything, there is more and more specialties are created because there are people who specialize in chat alone, people who specialize in onboarding. And we realized, recently we had an onboarding team that I just got the data from. they could cut that initial attrition by about 70% by providing better on that specialized custom onboarding team cut the attrition by 70% by just getting the customer onboarded and using the software better. So that's a job category now. We have onboarding specialists we are hiring now. So like that, these are all some of the fastest growing job categories. What is interesting is we are finding more efficient ways to develop the software itself, the core activity, the software. And we are finding more ways to automate manual work in software development. That's important to you because it reduces errors, it provides better quality, and of course, it also allows us to keep our prices very affordable. That's also important. So we are finding more efficient ways to develop software, but we are deploying a lot of that extra productivity in terms of the support, onboarding, all of that. Let's see, there, alerting me. Actually, we think we will be able to automate a lot of programming jobs, believe it or not. So that's kind of, there is a karmic justice here. It's the programmers that are automating the other jobs, but there is AI coming that is to automate the programming jobs. It's coming. By the way, there's a lot of technologies now, sort of automatic programming. It's not entirely automatic, but it will make the human programmer maybe 10 times productive. I mean, we are seriously talking 10x technologies here. You can do 10 times more with the same time. Those technologies are coming. We are doing some R&D on those. So we think we can, in the next 5, maybe the 5-10 year time frame, a lot of programming jobs will get automated. But we'll deploy a lot of people on support. That's where we are heading. So support, workplace architect, there is a common thread through these. Well, all these jobs require the ability to understand human beings. That's important, the ability to understand human beings. And now if we see sales as simply, calling, prospecting, qualifying, and of course, updating that super awesome CRM, you know what? Zia will take over that job, all those jobs. Because if that's what all a salesperson is doing, just calling and prospecting and updating CRM, Zia will take that. But that logic is imperfect, incomplete as it stands. Sales is really about the human connection. Never ever forget that. I mean, you're in a CRM event here. Sales is about the human connection. Support is about the human connection. Onboarding is about the human connection. We have to understand the customer's particular need in order to onboard better. So it's all about the human connection. And examples, what makes a visit to the App Store or Disneyland magical? It's not the layout. We're not going just to stare at that, their nice desks and the layout and all of that. And it's not that the mice either in the Disneyland, right? We're not going just because of the mice. It's about that experience. And who provides that experience? The experience provided by humans to us. That's what really we are going for. That is the ultimately we are there in the Apple Store because of that experience. In fact, I just was there 2 weeks ago to buy an iPad for my dad. And here's the interesting thing. The salesperson sold me the iPad, but he also told me, I asked him about a cover. He said, we don't carry good covers here. I would suggest you go to Best Buy. I really appreciated that, actually. I would have bought one. I would have bought one from him. He was a nice guy. But the fact that he told me that you may want to go to Best Buy, they carry much better covers than this. You'll get much better choice. I was so impressed by that experience. I thought, man, this is really good sale. That's what Apple does special. So that's what that experience provided by humans. I mean, I don't know how he's incented, compensated all that, right? Maybe if he had sold me the cover, he might have done a little bit more commission. But still, he felt these covers were not good enough. There are better covers, and the customer should get the best. So that was interesting. I really thought that is what Apple specializes in, and that experience is a human experience. And so ultimately, a sales job is about the human connection. the only way that we can make a sales job add real value is to provide that human element, human connection. And that part, that human connection, is not going to be replaced by ZI anytime soon. Okay, trust me, that's what we truly believe. All the AI we work on, even we are not going to replace the human connection anytime soon. Still, ZIA can certainly help sales. Let's look at the ways in which the AI can help sales. Well, if you look at the salesperson job, you have all of these: prospecting, prioritizing, qualifying, forecasting, and of course then relationship, negotiating, pitching, educating, all of those. And you can see a pattern here. The ones on the left, there's a lot of AI that can go in here. So this is a kind of a roadmap for our AI. We are not there in all of these, but we are working on it. This is where continually the software will evolve, focus on this area. And then the human side, of course, is what the human salesperson has to do. So the relationship building, the pitching, the educational, the negotiating, making that human connection. And so ZIA will make the sales job easier first, when you are getting rid of a lot of the things that the boring part of the job, more focused, and of course smarter. The salesperson now can truly be smarter. So in what ways? What is being smarter? To be smarter, of course, you have to make the software smarter. So how do we build software smarter? In fact, this is one thing I always say to our company, that being smart is actually mostly just about not doing dumb stuff. It's not something magical, right? It's true in real world too. I mean, there's so many people carry a 18% credit card and then somehow optimize a 1% interest rate on their CD. They'll be paying in this side 18%, and they'll be fighting over 0.5 to 1.75 on their CD. That's not being smart. That's just, you just have to look at, where is my money going? 18% I'm paying on this. So being smart is actually mostly about not doing dumb stuff. That's it. And unfortunately, most software is dumb. Really, that's the problem. Right? It doesn't get that thing, that fluid understanding humans have. And so our first priority is to making software less dumb. We have an entire list of things that we know that software does that's dumb, and we are one by one we are addressing. A good example, one of the things we fixed recently, a few months ago, was when multiple, a same user has 8 different products they register, don't send 8 different mails. Be smart and send one email. It's so easy to say, but then this requires cooperation from 8 different products, 8 different apps, 8 different databases, or we have to sync together all of that. But we made that happen. So that's the kind of thing that we are working on, making software less dumb, and the same capability to our customers. So if you have sent email to a prospect or customer, an automated email, maybe you don't want to send another email the same day or the next day, or you want to wait, right? So we are putting in those kinds of capabilities. That is just, and this is not, I don't even want to call it artificial intelligence. I just want to call it not being dumb. And we are doing all that. And then the smart is about being contextually aware. So best way to illustrate is some examples. So you got an email from a prospect. My boss approved the purchase. Can you send a formal quote? We hear this all the time. This is very common, right? Well, ZIA prepares the quote because it knows the context from the CRM, what products are in discussion. It knows the emails, all the threads. Automatically update the deal probability to 80%, right? Because when you reach the stage, you know it's going to close. This is looking really good now. Now, you get an email like this. Some recent news about your company, management has concerns, would like to speak to some senior exec. Every salesperson read this email, right? I worked so hard and suddenly a customer sends email like this. So what should ZIA do? Alert the VP of sale, put the deal on some kind of a watch list. So higher level execs, everyone can watch this deal closely. That's what is being contextually intelligent. This is what we are teaching software to do. This requires a lot of different disciplines. That email understanding, that's called sentiment analysis. So we now have AI that kind of categorizes the content of an email, document, all of that, understand the sentiment behind it. Where is it going? And you have to apply the sentiment in a very domain-specific contextual way. So we will be applying it for sales, we'll be applying it for support, all of that. So we have a general purpose sentiment engine in the works using AI, deep learning, all of these technologies. Then we take the technology, apply it to sales. So that's what we do. And then that comes into Zia as how your, automatic alerts based on some alarming language you see in a customer email and put the deal on a watch list, maybe lower the probability a little bit, all of these. And so eliminate most data entry. That's the goal. In fact, our goal in Zoho is, as much as possible, we call it the zero data entry or zero UI paradigm. A salesperson, marketing person, any of them never should see a form. Filling a form should be abolished somehow. Because you can infer as much data, relevant data from the context. That's what we are working towards. A lot of our work is towards this one goal. Eliminate forms, eliminate data entry. So in that sense, Zia will work alongside sales and support, and of course, eliminate the grunt work and provide useful insights. Whether it's forecasting, whether it's, for example, the deal that is going to close, immediately the forecast gets updated. If something major changes, the forecast is updated and automatically alerted through chat, WhatsApp, SMS, whatever. Let's go back to 2030. That's how it begins. That's how it began. They told us it will just do some grunt work for us. Well, at least you heard me here, okay? You can prepare. Thank you.